Good day, everyone. My name is Ellen Marian D. Mansera, and for today, we are going to discuss what are the ways in order to emerge our students to read aloud, or how can we make read aloud much fun and interactive. But before we move on to that, or before we dive into that, let us first have our objective. So for our objective, at the end of this lesson, the students are expected to describe the role of teachers in reading aloud and deduce the importance of reading aloud. So before we tackle that, and before we move on to what are the methods and techniques in reading aloud, let us first answer this question. Imagine you are reading to a group of students. How can your voice, expressions, and storytelling style make the story come alive and capture their interest? So I want to hear your answer and comment your answer on the comment box below. But if I will answer this question, um, our expression and our voice makes reading aloud much fun and interactive in a way that it will not be boring if we change the tone, our pitch and intonation to the or if we change our tone and voice in a way that how the protagonist or the antagonist play in the story that you are reading to them. So if we change our tone, it will make it entertaining to them and it will not be boring. Especially if we are handling students in elementary. And I also want to highlight the importance of our body language. So in a way that our body language plays a vital role in making creative read aloud fun and engaging. So let us now discuss what is the meaning of read aloud. So when we say read aloud, it is how we not just teachers, so it is how we read a text aloud to students in an expressive way. So here, if we use or if we change the tone, our tone, our pitch, our voice, it will make reading aloud much interactive, engaging, and not boring. And as I said earlier, our body language plays a vital role in making making read aloud fun and successful. So the benefits of reading aloud, I have cited here 7, and the first one is it engages discussion. Here, it engages discussion in a way that it encourages students to share their thoughts, ideas about the passage that you have read to them, or in a way that it encourages them to at least share their thoughts to the story that you are reading. And another one is that it develops listening habits. Here, we train them to focus on listening to the story that you are reading to them. Here, we promotes listening because the main senses or the main sense that they are using is their listening or their hearing. And number 3 is it motivates pupils to read. Here, I want to emphasize that the main goal of read aloud is to develop the love for reading. So in a way that Creative Read Aloud encourage students to read independently. So when I say independently, they will read not because they are assigned or asked to do so, but they will read because they love or they develop the love for reading. Then number 4 is it causes easy and quick reading. So here, since in read aloud, there is it focuses on the impact of teacher in making it successful. Here if we conduct read aloud, the students are not they are not um, here if we conduct read aloud, the students are not going to read the text, or here they are not required, or they are not required to read the text or the book itself, because the teacher is the one who is going to read it, and in this way it will promote and it will lessen their burden to read, or it will develop their thinking that reading is not boring, because our teacher is reading it in a meaningful way. So in this way, if it is easy and quick reading, because um, the students are not required to flip the pages of the book, but rather they will only use their listening skills. So number 5, it provides an assessment of reader's comprehension. So how can we assess the reading comprehension of the students? So in a way, we can assess their reading comprehension when we ask questions, and I know that you are familiar with the post activities. So here we can assess their reading comprehension in conducting activities, different activities that will assess if they really understood the passage, or if they are really listening to you when you are reading the book aloud. And number 6 is it prolongs the learner's attention span. This one, number 6 is related to number 2, because here, when we conduct read aloud, it trains them to pay attention to one object, or in this scenario, it trains them to pay attention to what the teacher is saying. And number 7, we have it enriches the child's vocabulary bank. I want to highlight the importance of um, pre-reading and also unlocking of difficult words. So in a way that if we unlock first the difficult words, the students will have a background on, and they will have or they will easily understand the passage of your story, since the words that are incorporated there, or the words that are in the books, are familiar to them. So it is important to conduct unlocking of difficult words before you actually dive, or you actually proceed in reading a book aloud. Now we have methods of doing learner focus read aloud. So in doing a learner focus read aloud, we have four methods. The first method is interactive reading aloud. Number 2 is retold or dramatized reading aloud. And number 3, we have multiple pieces, similar topic reading aloud. And number 4, description initiated reading aloud. So let us first tackle the first one, which is interactive reading aloud. Since the PPT is very wordy, I will summarize it for you. When we tackle interactive reading aloud, it basically focuses on the teacher reading the text aloud to student in front, and the children is listening to them, like they are forming a semicircle, and the teacher is in the middle. So that is an example of interactive reading aloud. So here in interactive reading aloud, the teacher will pause to further explain the passage, or to further explain the plot of the story. So when we if we look at it, when we say interactive read aloud, the children are viewing the illustration, they are viewing the text, and while the teacher is holding the book and reading it to them. So that is an example of interactive reading aloud. So here in interactive reading aloud, there is an interaction between the learner, there is an interaction between the teacher, and there is also an interaction with the book, because the children is viewing the book, while the teacher, or I mean the student, is viewing the book, while the teacher is reading the passage aloud to the learners. So why do you think interactive reading aloud is important? So the reason why interactive read aloud is important, because it allows readers to experience rich, interesting texts that are age and grade appropriate, regardless of their independent or instructional reading level. So here, one of the importance of interactive reading aloud is it builds a community of learners with shared literary knowledge. The reason why it builds community of learners with shared literary knowledge, the tendency that will happen if you make reading aloud much interactive or meaningful, they will instill, or they will really have or develop their love for reading. And if they really love the book that you have read to them, they will find another person who also read the same literary piece to them. So in that way, they will communicate about their thoughts to the book. What are their what are their comments, and what they have learned to the book that you have read to them. So that is why it builds a community of learners with shared literary knowledge. Another one is expands knowledge, language, and vocabulary. Here I have mentioned it earlier that there are different words that students are not familiar with. Also, I am not really familiar with different words. There are different words that I don't know the meaning, or I didn't know, or I don't know the meaning. So here, if we conduct interactive read aloud, it will expand their knowledge in a way that they will encounter different moral lessons to the stories. They will encounter knowledge that they haven't learned, and they will encounter language and vocabulary that they haven't learned. So here, in when we conduct interactive read aloud, it shows that when you conduct interactive read aloud, um, it it gives them the time, or it gives them opportunity to expand their knowledge. Let us move on to the second, which is the retold or dramatized reading aloud. So here, when we conduct retold or dramatized reading aloud, the first thing that the teacher will do is he or she will read the book aloud to students. Then after that, they will discuss the book, what is the what is the moral, what is the main problem of the book, who is the protagonist, who is the antagonist, why did the protagonist do that, and so on and so forth. So here, after the teacher read the book aloud to the students, they will going to conduct a discussion. And after the discussion, um, they will um, they will plan and play a story dramatization. So here, the teacher and the students will select who will be the protagonist, or who will going to play the character in the story. So there are steps in conducting retold or dramatized reading aloud. And the first step is we read and discuss the story. We make a story chart, and when we make story chart, it makes the story much it makes the story much easier to be followed and much easier to understand. And also, in making story map, it can also make the story much organized and summarized. Here, the next step is take volunteers. They will have audition in order to know who will be the perfect to play this cast. And another is play the scene. They will rehearse the scene from the book. Debrief and discuss. They will discuss what should be what should what should they modify, or if their acting is correct, or if they deliver the emotion well. And after that is play the story again. So here it is in a way that they will continuously practice up until they have successfully get, or if they have up until they successfully perfect the dramatization of the book that they have read. So remember that when we say retold or dramatized reading aloud, from the word itself, dramatize, it is in the form of play, or in a way that they are incorporating, or that the students will play the role of the character that they have read in the book, or they will play the character that the teacher have read to them. So another one of the methods is the multiple pieces similar topic reading aloud. So here, when we say multiple pieces similar topic reading aloud, they are reading several different texts that all cover the same general subject matter out loud, allowing for comparison and deeper understanding of the topic by exploring different perspectives and viewpoints within that theme. So here, if we are doing multiple pieces, similar topic reading aloud, the teacher is not, or the discussion, or the read aloud is not only limited to one literary piece. So this it means that the teacher can use 2, 3, 4, or many more literary piece that revolves in one certain topic. So here is an example. You might read excerpt from different books, articles, or even different authors on the same topic, providing a wider range of information and writing styles. So I will give another example, and I will elaborate it further. So here, if we use multiple pieces similar topic reading aloud, the student can compare and contrast different literary piece in a way that their knowledge is not only limited to only one book that they have read. So here I will have an example on how to do multiple piece similar topic reading aloud. If you have a topic of kindness, you can incorporate different books that that tackles about kindness, or how to become kind. So that is an example of multiple piece similar topic reading aloud. And just like here that is mentioned, a class studying the American Civil War might read excerpt from historical account by Union soldier, a Confederate soldier's diary, and a speech. So here, it is a multiple piece similar topic because they are analyzing the American Civil War, but they have different literary piece. Like here, historical account by a Union soldier. Another one is the Confederate soldier's diary, and a speech. So here, if we analyze different pieces, they can compare and contrast different literary piece, and their knowledge is not only limited to only one. So here, they will have broader knowledge about the certain topic that you are discussing to them. The next part that we have is description-initiated reading aloud. So here, when we say description-initiated reading aloud, the teacher will first discuss the plot, who is the antagonist, who is the protagonist, or the teacher will discuss what is the main problem of the story that you are reading. So here in description-initiated reading aloud, the students will have a brief background on what they will encounter what they will encounter later on when the teacher will read the book to them. So here, it allows listener to visualize and engage more deeply with the story by setting the scene through descriptive language beforehand. So, how can we implement a description-initiated reading aloud? So first, you're going to introduce the text. So you're going to introduce the title of the book, who is the antagonist, who is the protagonist, what is the plot, and so on and so forth. Another one is you will provide detailed description. Here you will provide the description, or for example, this story is about a tortoise and a hare, and they will have a race, just like that. You are providing detailed description. Next is you're going to read the passage aloud. So here, now the teacher will going to read the passage, or the teacher will read the story to the learners. And next is discussion and reflection. So here, the student can ask question, reflect, and also the teacher can also ask their understanding to the text that she had read. So benefit of description initiated reading aloud, we have three benefits. It increase engagement in a way that when the teacher is conducting different activities, or it increase engagement also because it motivates, or it allows them to share their ideas to the certain book that you are reading to them. Improve comprehension in a way that they will analyze the main plot, or what is the meaning behind the story. And number three is vocabulary development. I think I shouldn't, or I will not dive in further about the vocabulary development, since we have tackled it previously. But I will want to give clarification to the difference of description-initiated reading aloud and interactive reading aloud. So both of them are learner-centered, but here in interactive reading aloud, the teacher will have pauses in order to explain the the book further on. But in the description initiated reading aloud, the teacher will explain first the passage of the story. Then after that, the after the teacher explained the passage, he will now continue to read the story. So here in the in the interactive reading aloud, the teacher will explain when he reads the story. But in the description initiated reading aloud, he will explain first the passage. Then after that, the teacher will proceed to read the story. So another thing that will differ interactive reading aloud to description initiated reading aloud is that the questioning will happen at the end when the teacher is done of reading the book. Well, here in the interactive reading aloud, the student can ask question where the student can ask question even when the teacher is still reading the book or the literary piece that the teacher is reading. So we are now done with the methods. Now I want you to answer this question. If you are going to do a creative read aloud someday, what methods will you use and why? So you can also comment your answer on the comment box below. And also I want to add up that creative read aloud is not always applicable to all learners. So why the reason why I the reason why I said that because there are students that prefer to read book, or there are students who prefers to read book alone rather than having companies or having their classmate reading the book to them, or having their classmates reading books together. So that is one of the downside of creative read aloud. And also, creative read aloud is time consuming in a way that when we conduct read aloud, I think you need to prepare materials that we're going to use in order to make reading aloud much engaging and interactive. Because if you are not going to prepare materials or instructional aids in conducting read aloud, it will not if you do not prepare materials, I think it will not help you, or if you prepare instructional materials, it will help you and also the learners to understand the lesson that you are going to discuss to them. So let us now proceed to the last one, which is the techniques in doing read aloud in literature classes. So here the first technique is strongly imply the main problem or overview of the literary piece. So here we should always give importance or highlight what is the problem, or what is the problem in the story, and how does the protagonist solve the problem. Number 2 is sustain the children's attention using dramatic pauses, appropriate gesture, a variety of pacing, and plenty of eye contact. So here, if we sustain the children's attention, they will really understand the book that you are reading today to them, and in a way that we can really make sure that they will really understand it if they are really paying attention to the literary piece that you are reading. Number 3 is select the best location or makeshift ambience to suit the theme of the piece. So here I will give importance to selecting best location in a way that if the book that you are reading is mystery, you can make the ambience dimmer, like that. Or if it's fantasy, you can add some glitters to the classroom in order to make it much more realistic and they can really feel the book that you are reading to them. Another one of the technique is conduct follow-up activities after read aloud activity. So here, if we conduct activity, we can really assess if they really understood the passage, or if the techniques that you have, the techniques and the methods that you have used is really effective to them. So that is the techniques in doing read aloud in literature class. So to we are going to discuss emerging ways to read aloud, to be followed by my other member, which is John Hermie Lucido. So thank you for listening to my discussion, and I hope that you have you learn something from me, and you learn what are the ways in order to really immerse our students in read aloud. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy my discussion for today. Bye bye.